In the sea, a deadly balance exists between predators and prey. Small creatures survive by stealth and concealment, while hunters depend upon strength, cunning, and ambush. In the sea, life is an endless and often savage game of survival. In the sea, a deadly balance exists between predators and prey, and every day is a life and death struggle to survive. A school of sardines feeds on plankton. Their mirror-like scales flash in the bright sunlight, creating a difficult target for predators. Schooling behavior is an excellent way to confuse hunters. Confronted with a multitude of flashing profiles, it becomes extremely difficult to pick out and follow a single individual. Predators like these machete follow the school, trying to spot individual sardines at the edge of the shimmering mass. As the predators attack, the school flashes like the shards of a shattering window pane, causing machete to often miss their targets. In the open ocean, there are hunters that specialize in attacking schooling prey. Hunters armed with swords. The swordsmen are striped marlin. At up to 12 feet in length, these are awesome predators indeed. A dozen marlin have isolated a school of sardines in the open sea. These predators are uniquely equipped to deal with the flashing school. Marlin take turns rushing through the school. As the sardines scatter to avoid the predator, the marlin slashes with its sword-like bill, stunning or killing sardines a moment before devouring them. Occasionally, the sardines try to escape, by making a desperate dash for deep water. But like a pack of wolves, the marlin quickly gather to herd the school skyward, where they keep it hopelessly pinned against the surface. Then the predators resume, taking their turns slashing through the writhing mass. Held against the surface, the sardines are also attacked from above, and soon the school is decimated. Only a few sardines remain, and the frenzy intensifies as marlin compete to satisfy their appetites. Now a sailfish joins the pack of marlin, but it's too late. The sardines are gone. Only constellations of fish scales remain, falling slowly toward the ocean floor to mark their passing. In many areas of the eastern Pacific, the ocean floor is covered with colorful clusters of hard, coralline algae. And lurking here are creatures who depend upon concealment as a weapon of survival. Snake eels move beneath the rubble as easily as they move above it. They emerge occasionally to forage on the surface for crustaceans and mollusks. But when danger threatens, the snake eel is quick to retreat. He uses his sharp tail to find perches, then digs in backwards. Living beneath the rubble is an excellent way to avoid being harassed by many indiscriminate predators. Another animal makes his den beneath the rubble. It's the mating season for blue-spotted jawfish, and males have begun emerging to flash their breeding colors. They leave the safety of their dens only long enough to attract the attention of the opposite sex. For the female, love is a more dangerous game. She must leave her safe den to rendezvous with any male she finds attractive. She is not a strong swimmer, and danger may be concealed at every turn. The scorpion fish is almost perfectly camouflaged against the colorful coralline rubble. He is an ambush predator. The female jawfish narrowly escapes the gaping maw of the scorpionfish. The experience has put her out of the mood, and she immediately begins building a new burrow. Love will have to wait for another day. A school of sand divers hovers over another sandy plain. When a female is ready to lay her eggs, she descends to the sand and is quickly followed by a male. As she lays her tiny eggs, the male moves alongside to fertilize them. Almost immediately, the pair of sand divers returns to the school. The sand here is not a safe place to hang around. Here, deadly predators lie perfectly concealed and ever watchful. The sand was concealing a stargazer. Now the predator moves off to prepare another ambush. Some fish prefer not to entrust the survival of their young to the dangerous world in which they live. On the sandy shores of the Gulf of California, grunion are coming ashore. Within minutes, the entire school has cast themselves from the sea, blanketing the beach in a slippery carpet. Females dig backwards deep into the sand to lay their eggs, while males compete to wrap their bodies around spawning females and release their sperm. The eggs are deposited several inches below the sand, safe from swimming predators. For nearly 2 weeks, the eggs will mature in the warm sand while awaiting the next high tide to rise and sweep them away. In the dark sea, nocturnal predators emerge to roam the night. The Baler snail is a nocturnal hunter. The snail has tiny, poorly evolved eyes, but what the Baler lacks in eyesight is compensated by having a really big nose. The Baler uses his enormous nose-like siphon to detect the slime trails of other snails. And this is an ideal prey for the hunter. It's a ton snail. As it moves, the ton snail leaves its signature in the slime it deposits on the sand. Now the Baler has picked up the scent and accelerates in pursuit. The Baler wraps the ton snail within its deadly mantle and slowly begins to dissolve its victim. Dawn in the Gulf of California. The grunion have returned to the sea, leaving their eggs high on the beach, safe from oceanic predators. But the legacy of the grunion is not ignored by terrestrial scavengers. Sandpipers scour the beach, probing deep beneath the sand to reach rich deposits of golden eggs. Despite the efforts of feathered marauders, many grunion eggs will survive, to be washed away by the next high tide. On the edge of the Gulf Stream, dolphins are preparing to hunt. Below, the sandy plain may seem a poor hunting ground. But on close inspection, the sand is alive with razorfish, which are quick to dive beneath the surface when predators approach. Bottlenose dolphins cruise over the plains, scanning for hidden prey. These animals use incredibly sensitive echolocation to detect fish hiding beneath the sand. The dolphins broadcast sound waves into the sand and can detect a hidden razorfish by listening to the echoes that reflect back. In this way, the dolphin can essentially see a razorfish hiding several inches below the surface. And when a razorfish is discovered, the dolphin begins to dig. Finally, the dolphin emerges with his tiny prize. And in his wake, he leaves a crater more than a foot deep. The tiny razorfish seem a small prize for so large a predator. But the dolphins may graze on these sandy plains all day, and this is but one of many ways that bottlenose dolphins feed. Nurse sharks often travel with the dolphins as they feed on razorfish. And though the sharks do not have the dolphins' echolocation abilities, they have senses that are equally sophisticated. The nurse shark scans the featureless sand. As the shark passes over a buried razorfish, the predator can actually detect the electric field produced by the hidden prey. Life in the sea often seems a relentless food chain, with each animal forever feeding on others, while endlessly in danger of becoming prey itself. But in truth, life here is more complicated than that. Predation is but one part of life's complex equation. Often the violence is suspended as different species come together, helping one another in acts of mutual benefit. Here, bright yellow barberfish gather around chubs to clean their skin. The barberfish receive a meal, while the chubs are relieved of skin irritations and potentially deadly parasites. Another magical alliance occurs at this special place in the waters off Hawaii. Many of the reef fish here are vegetarians who scour dead coral to harvest a sparse growth of algae. But the algae growing on these rocks is not their only source of food. Sometimes, dinner is delivered. A green sea turtle glides down toward the reef. During their travels, sea turtles accumulate algae on their shells, which, left to grow, might hinder their movement through the water. So the turtles come here. The turtle shell has become a tiny verdant pasture that is appreciated by the vegetarians. And the fish's delicate nibbling is welcomed by the turtle. All day long, these gentle vagabonds drift in from the deep sea and pause to be welcomed at this special place. These pleasant encounters are more than uncommon interludes in an often violent struggle. There is a pattern here, a complex fabric that orders the survival of every species. The struggle of predator and prey is but one thread in the weave of life's amazing tapestry.